Hello and welcome to this new video on i2 iBase. My name is Jean-Jérôme and I'm part of the i2 support team. In this video today we will see the new features in iBase 10.1.1 Fixpack 1. So here I am on the i2 group website. If I go to Solutions, iBase, I go to latest version, and here I do have 10.1.1 and I do have a Fixpack 1. So I click on Fixpack 1 and it shows me the README file. So the README shows the new features in iBase. It also shows some list of fixes, but today we will just focus on the new features. So it introduces the following new features enhancements. Scored matching has been enhanced to use set member sheet as a matching criterion. So we will see each one of these new features. Database administrators can now configure scored matching definitions to set the final score to a field on a matched record. The scheduler now supports running queries at a scheduled time. Scored matching configurations can also now be scheduled. And geospatial indexes can now be added to coordinate fields. So let's see each one of the new features. First is scored matching has been enhanced to use set membership as a matching criterion. So I will launch iBase, and so just checking help about iBase version 10.1.1 Fixpack 1. So first question is where can you get this Fixpack 1? So to download the new Fixpack, you can download directly. If you scroll down to download location, you can follow the link and you can get it directly from here. So now let's go back to iBase. I will open the user guide, which in my case is guide utilisateur because I'm in France. Okay, I do have my usual structure, and if I go to analysis, scored matching, new. So here I will look for person, and I will add some criteria. So I will say that the age, for example, is between, let's say, 25 and 30. Let's see if I do have some results. And so the score, I would say 3. Results, no results. Okay. So 25 and 60. Results, yes. Okay, back. So if I go back to the list of new features, you see that you can now use set membership as a matching criterion. So let me show you how it's working. Here on the field, you do have the list of usual fields for the person or for the current entity type or link type. But if you scroll down, you see that you have set membership and set category membership. This allows you to specify that if a record is part or is not part of a set, then you will give a score to this. So for example, if I click on set membership, I want to say that if a record belongs, or contains or is contained in the set. So this is a list of the sets for the persons. So for example, if the record belongs to the set of homme suspect, then I will add 1 to my score. I can add more than one set. So if the person belongs or contains to the set of principaux acteurs, for example, again, I will add 1 to the score. This allows you to kind of rank your records by adding 1 extra point or 2 extra points if the records belong to some sets. But again, as you saw, it's also possible to add or to specify that if a record is not contained or doesn't contain a third, this one, then I also add 1. So here you saw that it's possible to specify that if a record belongs to one specific set or does not belong to one specific set, you can add the value to the score. It's also possible to use the group of sets. So here, if I go to sets, under all sets, I do have examples and set group 2. Set group 2 will contain 2 sets and examples will contain more than several sets. I can also add a criteria that say if a record belongs to one of the sets of set group 2, then I will add a score of whatever. So in this case, I don't care whether the record belongs to set 1 or set 2 or both. As long as a record belongs to one of the set of set group 2, I will add a score. So here, to do this, I will add a new field criteria, and I scroll down and I go to set category membership. Okay, and here again I do have contains or does not contain, which in fact should read is contained in or is not contained in, but so I will use contains. And here it gives me the list of all the available groups of sets. So here I do have the examples group set and the set group 2, which I found here. So I would say set group 2, and I will give also a score of 1. And now if I click on results, I'm not sure that we'll have any results. Yes, I do have some results. Good. And I do have the score, which shows me what are the persons which match my scored matching. Another enhancement which was made to iBase is that it's not possible to store or to save the score result to a field. So here, for example, for this person with Ford Trent, his score is 6 and so on. So I would like to be able to save the score to a field in the person's entity. And this, if I go back to the new features in iBase 10.1.1 fixback 1, this is this information here. Database administrators can now configure scored matching definitions to save the final score. So the final score is this value here, which is an integer value, to a field on a matched record. When an administrator runs the scored matching definition, the scores are written to the record, which facilitates onward analysis. Non-administrators, users, can run the same definition, but the scores will not be written back. So this part here, this new feature, it's only available for users which have administrators rights. So I will go back to iBase here. And currently on my person entity, if I click here, on my person entity, there is no field where I can store the score. So I will close iBase user and I will open this database in iBase Designer to add a new field which will store the score. So I will go to File, close the database. Yes, score matching before. Yes, so I want to save the scored matching. Yes, scored match 1 test. Okay. So I am in iBase Designer. I will open the user guide database. Okay, entity type, person, and here I will add a new field, and I will call it score. The type should be counting number. This is very important. It must be counting number. Do not take real number because the score will always be an integer from 0 to whatever number. So counting number, and okay, I will just move it, reorder fields, and the score will go this one here, just after grade. Okay, I will close iBase Designer, File, Exit. Yes, and I will open back iBase User. Yes. Now, if I go back to Analysis, Scored Matching, List, Scored Matched Test. Okay, and now here on Person, if I click on Apply Score to Field, I do have my score field. And if I click on Results, it gives me the results. And you can see that on my person information here, I do have the score field set to 6 and 4 and so on. And now with this, what I can do is I can use this value in queries, for example, where I can say, give me all the persons where the score is between 10 and 12, for example, or whatever. This new feature allows you to score people or to give some of your records. It can be persons, but it can be anything, telephones and so on. You can give your iBase records a rank or a score. And the score will depend on the configuration of your scored matching. It can be very useful if you want to group people by the scores. The next new feature in iBase 10.1.1 Fixpack 1 is the fact that in a scheduler, you can now run queries at a scheduled time. So I will launch the iBase scheduler, which is here. Okay, so I'm connected to the database, user database. And if I click on new, I've got a task. And previously on the type, there was only batch import and batch export. Now you have two new options. One is run query, and the other one is run scored matching. So the second one here, run scored matching, is for this one. But we'll first look at the possibility to run queries in a scheduler. So I go back to the task creation, and if I go to type, I select run query. And here you can select the query to run. So I will take any, this one for example, and you must select a destination set. This set will store all the results from the query. So I will select any, this one for example, and you can either append the results to the set or replace set contents with results. And you can also, the same for import and export, you can also perform actions before and or after the task. And I will give it a name, so test, okay. And for this one, I must also give it a trigger. So I will create a new trigger for this scheduler. New, I will say trigger name, every night at 1 a.m. So daily, every day at 01, or you can choose any trigger by date every day, every week or monthly, whatever. So this is good, okay. And so for this test query here, the trigger will be every night. You see that it's possible to add more triggers. So you might do, for example, one at midnight, and let's add one new. Let's add trigger. So every day at 12:00. Okay, once 12:00:00. Okay, this means that this query will be automatically triggered by the scheduler every night at 1 a.m. and every day at noon. I click on close, and that's it. So every night at 1 a.m. and every day at noon, this query will be automatically executed by the scheduler, and the results of the query will be sent to the set. And you can do the same for scored matching. So scored matching configurations can now be scheduled. This feature, which must be configured by database administrator, requires a configuration that saves the final score back to the records. So if I go back here to my iBase user, I do have this scored matching, which saves the result to a field. The field is score, which is in the person entity type, which means that I can schedule the process of the score matching with a scheduler. So if I go back to the scheduler, so again, scheduler, okay, I will create a new one, so new for scored matching. So this one will be a run scored matching. So scored matching to be run, I click here and I do have the score matched test. I click this one, yes, then I will give a name, and click OK. And for this one, I must also create 2 triggers. So I will select this one, I click on New, and OK. Like this, every night at 1:30, this score matching will be run, and the scores of each record will be added, will be modified in the person entity type on the score field. Now, the last new feature of i2 iBase 10.1.1 Fixpack 1 is the fact that you can now add geospatial indexes. So it's here, geospatial indexes can now be added to coordinate fields. For customers using i2 Overwatch, this feature enhances the performance of polygon searches against iBase data, especially for databases with large volume of data. But even if you don't have i2 Overwatch, you can still add geospatial indexes to iBase. So let me show you how to do it. You must go in iBase Designer. Here, this only works for SQL Server databases. My database is SQL Server. I go to Tools, Search, and here I do have a new command, which is Geospatial Index Manager. If I click here, what might happen is I might have this error message. A number of coordinate fields were detected in the database, but it does not support geospatial indexes. In this case, there is an existing tech note, which is in support-i2group.com/s/article/3440. And I will give the link of this page down here. It explains why there is this problem. And the resolution, it's a little high level, so you must run a SQL Server script. And for security reasons, we don't provide the script, the SQL Server script here. You must contact the i2 support team, and we will be happy to provide this script and with a way to guidance on how to use it. So of course, I don't have this error on my database, so I'm going back to iBase Designer. Let me put it in large. If I go to Tools, Search, Geospatial Index Manager, I do have this new screen, which allows you to select the coordinate fields that are in the database. So iBase Designer will look in all the entity types and link types for any coordinate fields, and then you can tick or you can select which one you want to add a geospatial index. So here I want to add to both of them. Okay, I click on OK. Okay, yes, I want to continue. That's it. So this is all you have to do. It will help iBase to make faster searches when you are working with geospatial indexes and geospatial queries. Those are all the new features of iBase 10.1.1 Fixpack 1. I hope my video was clear, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to contact the i2 support team. Thank you. Bye.